Today's video, we're going to talk about device tracking audiences. Basically, how you could target users, or through targeting users that have been to a certain location before, you can actually make quite a bit of money from ads that you ultimately end up running on Facebook, Google, banner ads across the internet. So if somebody goes to one of your competitors' locations, you can actually start targeting them right away as soon as they leave that building with an ad that has a new customer discount, or hey, here's actually why we're better than them. You could do a number of different things, of which I'm going to give you some examples of how to actually monetize that on today's video, as well as the methodology behind how to actually do this. So if you were actually wondering how to target people who get into a certain geography, street, building, neighborhood, city obviously is the easy one, but I'm going to tell you how to actually do that on today's video, because there's several ways to actually do this, some better than others. I'll go through what those are, and then if you stay to the end of the video, I will go through a case study where I go through how we actually made this make money for a men's formal wear store before, specifically, as well as a number of other ways where we've kind of done this in the past to give you enough idea how to actually monetize this for yourself at the end of the day. Because there's all kinds of different opportunities. You can actually target people who have been near a helipad for a personal injury legal campaign, to target people that have had a serious issue happen where they got in an accident. Anybody who was near a helipad probably had a car accident. You could then target them with a car accident ad that says you're the best car accident lawyer in the city, whatever, which is something we've actually done as well. So I'm going to go through all those details and those different situations where we use this to be able to make money as well, which some people call geofencing, but you can also do this through mobile IDs. You could do this through some other methodology I'm going to talk about in today's video. Before I get into the content, if you don't know who I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is, you get so much extra profit on your campaigns up front before we charge management fees to our clients. We are the only agency on the planet who offers any kind of contingency guarantee like this, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that you're receiving on today's video. You can actually find various list brokers who will let you target users who have been near a certain location, email addresses, so you can then upload those email addresses to ad platforms. And so what I mean by this is, and to go a step backwards here, there are businesses out there that's all they do is specializes in email lists, phone number lists, mailing lists of people who have been known buyers of a certain category of product or service, people who have been to a certain store, people who have certain interests for niche marketing campaigns. So basically where you could target people who have recently your jewelry offer or whatever you want to do. These list brokers will also often usually have email address lists of people that have been to a certain geography, to a certain part of the city or whatnot, and that's done through mobile apps. If you've had a mobile app on your phone, what these mobile app companies will often do is sell data to these data brokers saying, okay, all the people who use my app, I'll give you a feed basically of all the people who have been anywhere in the city on my app. So if you want to target somebody in a certain part of the city, you can do it. And we can easily do that by giving you the email address list, and then those list brokers will sell that email address list to you or other marketers, other advertisers. So that's one way to target people in a certain geography or certain street or from a certain part of town or whatever, because you get that email address from the list broker and then you upload it to your ad platforms. Google allows you to target emails with ads using an email alone. Facebook does, LinkedIn does, Twitter does, AdRoll does. There's multiple platforms that'll let you do that. Now that is not, I would say, either the most easy or the most common. If you're in a really big niche, like money transfer services, apparel, their list brokers will usually have a list for you that will tell you, okay, these people have been near a Western Union recently. These people have been near a Neiman Marcus recently. So you could just get the list and target whoever you want on all these ad platforms. So that's one way to target somebody by geography like that. That is, once you get within a 1 kilometer radius area, because on these ad platforms, you usually, like Google, Facebook and stuff, you could target people within a 1 kilometer radius as the smallest targetable area. If you want to get beyond that, you use that method or one of these other methods I'm talking about here next. The other would be to reach out to someone who owns an app directly to get the mobile IDs from them for people that have reached a certain area. So if you have an app that targets your whole city, let's say Omaha, Nebraska. There's an app for people, Omahans, basically. Or somebody who downloads an app for the city newspaper. You could go make a deal with the newspaper and say, hey, I want access to all the mobile IDs or email addresses of the user who downloads the app, specifically who have visited the downtown area, because I want to market all those people with my ads. And then you can work out a deal, which you may say, well, they're not going to do that. Well, yes, they will. A lot of these companies, if they're struggling for revenue, they want to carve out any way that they can monetize their data any way they can, which is why list brokers exist. So that would be another way. Or let's say if you sell fishing gear, okay, you could actually go to a fishing app website and get all their mobile IDs or email addresses, which just through mobile IDs alone, you can upload that to Facebook and run a Facebook campaign against it. But you could target all those people who want fishing gear by making a direct deal with them, which is not necessarily what I'm talking about in this video, but a lot of times that can be profitable. Or you take that list of users who download that mobile app and then you apply a geo filter to it. You can say, I want all these people who downloaded this app but also have visited a Bass Pro Shop in the last 30 days. And then continuously when people get to that Bass Pro Shop within my city, I want that list so I could target them. You could technically go about targeting people on a micro geography basis that way. Beyond that, the easiest and most feasible though is to use geofencing. There's programmatic ad networks where you can target people with banner ads across the web that have been in a certain area. And what these programmatic ad networks will do is they'll give you a map, and then you're able to draw a polygon around the area of the map that the person that you want to target it from, and then right away, as soon as somebody enters that area, then right away an ad will show up for them, which is going to be banner ads, okay? And it'll show up on millions of potential websites. They have also got it down to where some ad networks have something called blueprint targeting, where if let's say the business you want to target is within a strip mall, you can actually target somebody who gets into that store in the strip mall. You can get within the building, and that's specifically what you want if you want to do that, okay? And it's also through programmatic ad networks. And if you're wondering what one of the companies that will do that is, let me know in the comment section. I'll get back to you in terms of blueprint targeting. But that's specific what it's called, and that's another way to do it. Now, the problem with this last method compared to the other methods, because you may say, like, why the hell would I do anything else when that is obviously the easiest? Problem is you can't, with the programmatic ad networks, you can't target people through your Facebook, through your Google, through your Twitter, and so forth. You have to target, and they have to run the ad for you. You provide the banners, and then they'll have the ad show up for people who get to those certain buildings or whatever that you're targeting. So you don't have any control over the optimization of the campaign. You don't have any control over much. You say, here's my budget. I want to run to people who get to this building, and that's it. And a lot of people aren't going to click on banner ads because they don't trust them at all, which is the other thing. So the better thing would be to target anybody who gets to a certain building on Google and Facebook and everything, because most people are going to be targetable that way. And a Facebook ad has a higher response rate than a banner ad. So how do you do that? Well, what you do is you combine techniques here, if you will. Or should I say, you run your programmatic ad network campaign with geofencing, with a geofencing provider, geofencing programmatic ad network. Draw using blueprint targeting if necessary, if you're targeting like a store within a strip mall. You target them, you give them your banner ad, you give them a banner ad with a really good offer on it, so you're going to have a super high click-through rate on your ad. Even though people don't like banner ads, they're going to want to click through it because your offer is so damn good. Then, when somebody gets to your web page, tag them, and now they can see ads on Google and Facebook and everything else. So you're actually using the programmatic ad network to kind of like seed your remarketing lists, which is what that would ultimately be, so that you could start targeting these people. So your initial ad is just going to say and do anything you can to get them to your website so you can pixel them. Then you're going to remarket to them afterwards. If you don't know how to do this, don't want to go through the trouble of finding the right network, whatever, reach out to me at my firm, by the way, at guaranteedppc.com. I'll have a conversation with you about what you're trying to do and let you know if it's likely to work, how to do it, what kind of results we could get for you, what we could guarantee for you, as well as some other options of advertising along with it while we're talking. If you're interested in that and hiring the best agency you can find, you can reach out to me at my site at guaranteedppc.com. If we've worked in your niche market already, by the way, we can sell you the winning ad template that works for your market already. The winning ad, the landing page, the campaigns that work in your niche market. And we started doing this about a year ago now, and it's been highly popular because, for obvious reasons, it cuts out all the time and money and effort it takes to get results in a niche market because you're just using the winning version that already works for your niche market. And we can tell you the results you're going to get with it up front, so you would know what you stand to gain from it. We sell the template as a one-time fee, and then you just get the winning version that we've spent years building up the results to get to that winning ad and so forth. If you don't like to work with ad agencies, you can at least get the template if you aren't getting the results we're getting already. We've got these templates for over 100 different niche markets because we've been operating guaranteed PPC for over a decade now. So the chances are high we worked in your space, or if you want to start a new business, we could literally tell you what businesses to start based upon the results they provide and start selling leads or subcontracting out work and then just answer the phone and sub out all the service work. Or we got people that use the templates to start an e-commerce business selling more so like a commodity item in a country that our client doesn't sell it in. So if you were wondering how to get into e-commerce and be spoon-fed to the process, the easiest way to do that is just to start with a template that we know is selling a known item and can sell it profitably and that it works. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. Beyond all that, getting back to what I was saying here, now getting into the case study part of this video. So we had a men's formal wear company that I mentioned that we worked with and we did geofencing with. And specifically for them, we actually did the Blueprint programmatic ad network targeting option using Blueprint targeting. Specifically so that we could isolate out individual men's formal wear stores that were within the cities that our client was in. So they had multiple stores in multiple cities. Each city, every high-end men's formal wear store, we created a blueprint trace around the stores so that anybody that walked into those stores, for the next 30 days, they would see our ad, which our ad had a really good offer on it, so we could then remarket to them, like I was telling you that is the main way to do this, to really cash out on it that you want to do. Our offer for this was a fashion consultant offer. So basically, free personalized fashion consultant, men's formal wear fashion consultant, will help you design your own custom wardrobe, which naturally that's a beautiful offer because if somebody responds to that, they're going to be making a lot of purchases. So free, even if you had to pay the menswear consultant $100 an hour, it would still be way profitable to do. A good offer for you is going to be something for free to get them to click on the ad so that you can start remarketing to them on all these other networks. That's specifically what we did there. We generated leads for right around $94 a lead for this offer. Once you added up all the leads and all the ad spend from not only the pragmatic ad network to get the ads initially showing to these people, but when you added Facebook, Google Display Network, YouTube ads, demand gen campaigns, Twitter ads, and all of it together, which is where your really good return comes from because these other social networks that people spend a lot of time on their sites, it's easy to be able to then get a lot of impressions in front of this fairly small audience that you're going to be targeting. So ultimately for something like that, it's only going to be a campaign for at least on a one city level of a couple hundred people a month. It's not a lot of volume. You have an ad which sets up a bait click, and then you're going to run your ads across the entire internet everywhere you can in terms of retargeting. LinkedIn if necessary, all the ad networks you could possibly run your ads essentially. With that said, by the way, with the leads that we got, the $94 per lead, we had about a 14% closing rate on those leads of people that actually took us up on the offer, responded, and actually came in to avail the service, which this is a high-end men's clothing store, so the average purchase is several $100s in terms of all the stuff that they're buying. So $94 a lead may sound high. The return was at least 5 to 1 when you add it up, especially if you looked at all the long-term purchases that they're going to make, especially if you wanted to add in their referrals and effect on your organic traffic and everything else. So a profitable campaign. Problem is that you're only going to get so much mileage out of it. Like I was saying a minute ago, there's only so many people going into your competitor's store on a regular basis. And then that's all you're going to get. But why turn the opportunity down? Because most of the time with these pragmatic ad networks, you can throw $500 at them to run a campaign already. There's no minimums of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. All it really comes down to is, can you come up with a good offer to get people to click through or not? And that's not that hard to do if you've watched videos on this channel before, obviously. Which, if you haven't seen my other videos on this channel yet or haven't subscribed yet, you should, because I talk about how to run effective display ads with good offers on them, which nobody else really does on YouTube. And if you're going to pay attention to anything, you pay attention to this channel in terms of doing that, plus running ads on Google the right way, Facebook the right way that makes money every time, I've got 20 years of advertising experience built into the information that's on this channel, and I spend 40 hours a week doing ad strategy at our firm to give you the stuff that works and what doesn't work. So if you're going to pay attention to anything, you want to pay attention to the information on this channel, given most people are just selling courses. They're not really even running ads. They look like they do, they're not, and it's not useful. You also can check out my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has even better information, I think, in terms of making money, being able to make money from ads, because I lay out all the strategies we use at our firm, like I talked about on this particular video, and it has screenshots and everything you need to do, all those particular strategies. So if you like the channel, you should definitely check the blog out as well. Going back to what I was saying here, so that's one example of how to run hyper geography based targeting campaigns that can make you money. I talked about before earlier in this video how we did this for a personal injury firm, where somebody that was near a helipad, with blueprint targeting, you literally can do this. You can target somebody, basically a 100 by 100 meter area, and just target people who enter that area and actually end up, and that's what we had with this particular guy's stuff. With this, we had an offer. In order to get a good campaign going out of this, especially since the lists are going to be so small, you got to be able to make a good offer. In this case, we had an offer for it was a law firm who presumably specializes in spinal injury cases. If you got in a major accident and have a spinal injury, this is the law firm you want to deal with. The chances are high that if you went to a helipad, you'll have that, or at least all the people who have that are going to go to the helipad. So it's actually the other way. And it was actually quite successful. And we were paying hundreds of dollars a lead, which is nothing compared to the 7-figure cases that came through on this. For stuff with really high ticket sizes, this is extremely profitable because the cost per click on your bait ad, like I was talking about before, is going to be the same whether you're selling something for $1 million or selling something for $10. So it may not work if you're selling a $10 broom to do this, but anything where you're selling it where it's mid-hundreds, mid-3 figures and higher, you should be able to make money with it, honestly. That would be the main thing there. Now, targeting competitors want to run a hyper geography-based targeted campaign. The other reason would be people that have done some certain things are indicators of what their future behavior will be like. And you can go ahead and run campaigns based upon that. Maybe somebody who goes to a church, somebody who goes to a stadium. If you're selling stuff right outside the stadium, targeting people that are in the stadium would be perfect. There's a bunch of different ways to make money with this. But with that said, it all comes down to the same thing. Can you find somebody that would, you're always looking for your buyer online. Where are they at? If you could find where they're at and what they look like, you can generally make money because there's usually going to be a way to target them. You may need an advanced solution like we talked about in this video. There's always going to be a way to do it. Then it's, can I say something exciting enough that if they see my ad, they're going to care? Because just saying I offer, I have a great bar outside the baseball stadium that you should go to after the thing isn't enough. It's the first 2 drinks are going to be free with the meal, at least 1 meal purchase. And then you're going to get a lot of people coming into the bar. If you weren't totally filled, that would be a great offer you could do. We've done something similar out for locations outside a stadium like that, actually. That did work. You should really just get creative about the offer. That if you can come up with a good offer, that's going to be the main component to making your ad campaign profitable. And what little impressions you're going to get out of your ads for the people that are in that location, unless you're talking about a stadium, which you have lots of people to target then, to get some mileage that you deserve out of it. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said target people was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.